And so now I have the spirit guides going. I got the chakra balancing thing going. Now I'm learning about your cosmic and earth energies, and you do this to cleanse this, and then you pull this up and you do this all during meditation and open your third eye. And it was a lot, but I got into some deep stuff, like deep. And it gets to the point where I start hearing things back. I'm excited to get up here week by week telling y'all my business. It's really exciting because it's so freeing for me. Some things are kind of painful to remember and go through and hash out because I have to plan these videos for y'all. But sometimes when I look back at things and see where I am now, I'm just like, God, you did that. Like, for real. Like, I have so much peace. I have joy. I have freedom. I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy. Is every day peachy keen and chipper? No. Life be lifing. But there's an undercurrent of like peace and joy that I have. I just had to share that. Hey. hey. As you can tell, I'm in a good mood today. But I am Letitia Renee Brown. Thank you for coming to my channel. And this is episode 3 of Testimony. My life, His glory. And so we are going to pick right up from where we left off. Where we left off last time, please go check out the video for episode 2 where I was talking about my wonderful 2 months in LA. Truthfully, where darkness met me. And in this episode, we're going to start in March 2020, where we left off, where I got to Tyler Perry Studios. I'm like, all right, y'all, let's do it. Season 2 of the Oval. We about to do this. And they're just like, no, the world has literally shut down. Tisha, go home. Just go home. Mean Girls reference. If you know, you know. Anyway, so let's just jump right into it, shall we? And so from there, as you all remember, the world shut down. Florida and Georgia, we were tripping. People were outside. People doing stuff. That was not me. When I came back from Tyler Perry Studios, you know, they called us, they held meetings for us, and they let us know real quick, like, hey, we are actually trying something new. Mr. Perry wants to try to still film, but it's going to require our cooperation to be diligent, stay at home. You know, when they send us out to get tested, don't miss any testings. You know, it's going to show if you come back positive or not. Like, they were very, very strict. We had to get tested, I think. I don't know how many times I got tested leading up to the actual bubble. But that in and of itself was, that was a journey. Stick the thing all the way up your nose. And then we had 2. We had the one to go all the way up your nose. And then have the one they swab all the way in the back of your throat. I can't tell you how many times I was swabbed and poked and prodded. And
whenever you're ready.
okay.
Can you lean against your chair?
Yeah.
And then chin up. Yeah. Perfect. All right. I'm gonna go to the back for 3 seconds. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable. All right.
Oh, woo. Okay.
We're good to go?
Yes.
Have a great week.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, but it was necessary because at that time, you know, everything was shut down. Nobody in Hollywood was working, like, at all. I'm preparing for that. So ever so often I'll go to Tyler Perry Studios to get tested. But other than that, I'm staying home. And in this, let's say March, April, May, June, July, and this like 3 or 4 months, I was completely still. And this is when I got really deep into some really dark stuff. It just keeps getting darker and darker, y'all. I was just so lost. So this is where I discovered spirit guides, doing a spirit guide meditation. This is when I discovered that I became a psychic medium. So let me back up. So I'm back at my mom's house Because as you remember, I moved everything out of my midtown apartment into my mom's home because I was preparing to move to LA. That didn't work out because the world shut down. So I'm back home. I'm stuck at my mama's house, staying with my mom and my little sister. And so that was an adjustment in and of itself, but we made the most of it. We had so much fun. We were just like, it was like girl time. We'll have movie nights and cook and hang out and just catch up. That was actually a very powerful moment for my mom and my sister and I to actually like get closer. So that was a bonus. And also I thought it was a bonus for me to get more in tune with myself spiritually. And so I will definitely be doing a full New Age to Jesus testimony specifically just about that topic, where I'll go into more detail about everything as far as the New Age and how it came about for me. Even though I grew up Christian, how did I get into that, right? But at this point in time, March, April 2020, I have gotten deeper into meditation. I have gotten deeper into, I was already a certified yoga instructor. So all the knowledge that came with learning how to be a certified yoga instructor. And I had to sit with myself, and I'm big on journaling. I'm a really big journaler. So I was writing a lot. And so I came across blogs, I came across books that were literally teaching you and telling you how to open your psychic gifts. And I was like, okay, I've always been enamored with all of this stuff. But at this moment, it made all the sense in the world. I felt it. I knew. I was like, well, I'm already an empath. I'm already very sensitive spiritually and emotionally. I think I should give it a go. I think I should try and see. You know, I was always curious and enamored and interested in anything supernatural, spiritual, even paranormal. I had this meditation app that I used religiously. That was my thing. I would get up in the morning. I would do my meditation at least 30 minutes every single morning. And I would start my day like that. And so I started to kind of play around more with different meditations at this time. I can't go nowhere. You know, at most I'm talking to my long distance boyfriend. It's the quarantine time. It's coronavirus is running rampant. It's a lot going on. And that's the thing too. If you saw in the last video, that clip that I posted where I shut off all social media and I just got very emotional and shut down, I am a very sensitive person, spiritually, emotionally. I've always been. And so that was starting to take a toll on me, I felt. And I was just like, no. I'm keeping my peace. And so at this time, my peace, I thought, came from meditating. It came from learning how to balance chakras and stay aligned and open and balanced and all of these things. I was seeking peace. I was seeking some kind of answer as well as to why am I here, especially at this time during the pandemic, because I just had all the time in the world. So I'm sitting here asking these bold questions. And so I come across this specific meditation on this meditation app, and it said something about spirit guides. And I was like, okay, let me check this out. I've done all the different meditations on here. I want to check this out. I was very open. I was a very open person. And so I did it. It was a guided meditation. So it guides you into meeting your spirit guide. And so I was sitting there, I'm meditating, I'm following the visuals internally and all of these things. And then I meet this spirit guide. And I really honestly think it was like a figment of my imagination. At that time, I was just like, well, I kind of made that up in my head. But then I look back at it, it sounds kind of crazy, but it was almost like you're creating your own imaginary friend when they talk about these spirit guides. And so I did that meditation, but I didn't realize that I essentially opened a deeper portal into the kingdom of darkness when I did that, because now I'm willingly saying, I want to talk to spirits. I've never done that before. And so from there, I have this spirit guide, and now I don't know how to communicate with it, but I'm having like visuals of it in my mind. Well, I think my spirit guide looks like this. And then I keep doing the same meditation. I meet this other spirit guide. I'm like, oh, wow, this one's an animal. Oh, wow, this one is a floating spirit or whatever. And like, it was so weird. It sounds weird when I look back at it. But then I'm reading these psychic books, and they're literally teaching you how to sharpen your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, and all the different clairs, which is essentially, in their words, clear channels of spirit communication, how you communicate with the spirit realm. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is so interesting. I've always been interested in this stuff. And now you're saying that I can literally read this book and it's going to train me on how to do this. Okay. So I start reading this book and I start doing the exercises in the book. And it comes very easy to me. I'm like, oh, wow, that was cool. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. And so now I have the spirit guides going. I got the chakra balancing thing going. Now I'm learning about your cosmic and earth energies, and you do this to cleanse this, and then you pull this up and you do this all during meditation and open your third eye. And it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm not going to go into deep detail here because this is not what the video is about. But I got into some deep stuff, like deep. And it gets to the point where I start hearing things back. I'm like, I've never experienced this before. Let me lean in more. I remember I was taking a nap downstairs on the couch. I think I fell asleep. My mom was watching TV. And this has happened to me when I was a kid. But this happened at this moment on the couch. I was woken up from my sleep because I literally heard somebody whisper right here in my ear, Tisha. And I was like, huh? I was like, Mom, you say something? And she looked at, she was like, no. Like, looked at me like, what are you talking about, honey? I was like, okay. I remember reading somewhere that was a form of your clairaudience opening up, if you could hear in the spirit realm. Not to mention all the angel numbers. You know, as soon as I started reading the book on the angel numbers, now all the numbers that I see, oh, wow, now I see 444. Ooh, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see this. And I have this angel number book and it's saying this and all, okay, this number means this. And if you see this consistently, you're trying to get a message. They're trying to, I don't know who they are, but the angels are trying to get a message to you about this particular thing. And it's kind of like, almost like the zodiac sign thing, which I used to be heavy into as well. But it was kind of similar to that. Is if you see these numbers and this, it means this. And the angels are trying to say this to you. I was just seeking answers. I was seeking a way to fulfill this deep void that I had inside of me. And I have all the time in the world because I'm literally smack dab in the middle of the pandemic before we go into the bubble. I end up getting to the point where I'm diligently and religiously waking up, doing these meditations, and now I'm asking these spirits questions. Because in the meditation, in the spirit guide meditation, and in these books and things I'm reading, they're saying, well, if you have a spirit guide, you start to ask them questions, get to know them, ask questions about them. And I started to do that, and I started to get information, but it was hard for me to decipher if it was my own thoughts and my imagination or if I was hearing actually in the spirit realm. Not to mention the extremely vivid dreams I was getting at that time. I've always been a dreamer, still am, thank you Lord for prophetic dreams. But these dreams were something else. I would have visitations from loved ones who've passed away in my dreams at this time. I would have just very wacky, crazy dreams, very vulgar dreams as well, sexual dreams. And they were very vivid. There's some people out there that say, if you have vivid dreams, it's from God. Not every vivid dream you have is from God. Okay, I'm just going to say that and put that out there. Okay, moving on. I start to receive all this information from dreams, during my journaling time, during meditation, from these spirit guides or whatever spirit. I start to see things in a corner of my room. I start to, nothing dark, because in the books they always say, you pray, you know, for the light to come in, and you pray only for love and light and no dark magic. We're not doing dark magic here. All of it's dark. But I'm talking to these spirits and I start to ask them questions, and they are leading me astray. They're giving me half truths, and they are giving me some accuracy, just enough for me to believe everything else that was said. So for example, I asked them a question about my mom's childhood, and they were spot on and accurate. And I go to ask her about it. I'm like, do you know anything about this? Oh my God, how did you know about that? Wow. You know, now I'm sharing this with my mom and my sister. They're jumping on the bandwagon. Oh gosh, I felt so bad for that. But God is good, because they're believing that I have these psychic abilities now. I'm hearing from these spirit guides that are telling me accurate information about their past and their future, mine as well. I'm asking them all kinds of questions. That's my routine. I do that every single day. Wake up, meditate, talk to the spirit guides. Wake up, meditate, talk to the spirit guides. I will be in my room sometimes for 5 hours, talking to these spirit guides, deciphering information, balancing chakra, all of this stuff. I made it my life's purpose. And I started to get excited because I was like, I want to help people. I want them to connect with their loved ones. I want them to be able to figure out what they're here to do, what their purpose is, all of these things. I had a passion for that. I still do. But I thought in that time that the psychic abilities were going to help me do that for other people. I was going to start to set up shop where I could even be a psychic and get paid for it. Like, I was thinking of doing all of those things after I was done filming season 2 of The Oval. Now we're in the bubble, the TPS bubble. And it is just, if I could describe it, because I had so much fun. It was actually a really great experience. If I can describe it, it was like an adult summer camp. They had food trucks, drink trucks, movie nights on the lawn, yoga classes, workout classes, church tents on Sundays. Not to mention we had golf carts so that we can get around the whole entire campus. Well, not the entire campus because we were still quarantined. So there's a certain part of Tyler Perry Studios where they have the actual sound stages that have been dedicated to other people. That's not where we were going. We were going to the White House and back to the historic district where everyone was staying. So when I got there, of course I had to get tested. Another testing this morning. Tested, leading up to the bubble, inside the bubble, you know, the night after the bubble. Like, it was just testing everywhere. And I get it, because this was a new thing that Tyler was trying to do. It was just so overwhelmingly exciting because we moved into the historic houses. I have this amazing roommate. She's just so chill, so sweet, so kind-hearted. And we're staying in this big house. Ooh, goodies. Place has been sanitized. Common area, got the cushions all cleaned. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is nice. This is big. Ooh, bathroom. Kitchen, snacks. Yes. A nice kitchen. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm doing yoga out here in the morning. This is my room. Oh, cute. Yes, private bathroom. Shea moistures, yes. Oh, robe and slippers. I'm hot. I'm gonna take this off. Made it to Camp Quarantine 2020. We cannot go anywhere. That was the stipulation. When you check into the bubble after you're tested and you're cleared, now you're free to roam around with your mask on. We started rehearsals. We started to get our scripts, and we would safely go to each other's houses, rehearse, and then we'll get on set and do the thing. Sharon is back. Yes. Back in my dressing room. In my clothes for the day. His hair is slayed. Makeup is slayed. Got my jewelry, snacks. And I think we were in this bubble for about 2 weeks. I could do one whole video alone on the TPS bubble because it was something that's never been done. And I felt so good, like being a part of it, like the whole experience. It was just, they were very careful. Everything was well thought out. They had someone come pick me up from my house in a black car, drop me off in a black car, like that, the transportation set up. They had, you know, like I said, housing set up. They had food set up. So we can't go anywhere. So they would send people on our behalf to go grocery shopping for us, deliver our groceries to us. We'll put it up in the kitchen and we would cook. You know, they also had, of course, catering and things on set. And it was just, they had everything you can ever imagine. Didn't have to worry about toiletries, lotion, shampoo, toothpaste, soap, masks, hazmat suits. They had it all. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed my time in the bubble. I just feel like I'm literally in another world. Like television studios is another world. Wow. This is cool. And then it was so crazy because I actually spent my birthday in the bubble and my castmates were so sweet. A couple of my castmates got together and they got cupcakes, champagne for me, and we just all hung out underneath this tent because we didn't have a wrap party. Typically, every time you're done filming a season of a show, there's like a party at the end where everybody comes together and celebrates ending this thing. And we didn't get to have that because we're literally in the pandemic. It's like, we got to stay cautious and be careful.
So you're going to say it over. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Oh!
And so that was essentially our wrap party. I'm not going to post too many videos and pictures because it has everybody in it. It was just like kicking it, chilling, drinking champagne, eating cupcakes, laughing, talking, reflecting, dancing. Somebody brought speakers out. We had music. Like, it was just such a dope vibe. And it was just us. It was just the core cast. And that's how we ended the bubble. Well, my first time in the bubble. Because I later found out that I had to come back to the bubble a second time, get tested again, check in all over again. Because I think for Roofless or something, it was like a tiny little scene, like a little tiny crossover scene that I had to do. So I had to check in for 3 days to go back into the bubble. Oh, this is interesting. Second time back to Camp Q, and I am in one of the little hotel rooms. Super cute, actually. Yes. More masks and gloves and hazmat suits. What's this? There's so many little goodies in here. Snacks. And more snacks. Oh, it's a bathroom. With a shower. This is cool. Wow. Camp Q. Take 2. So I wasn't there like a whole nother 2 weeks, but it was kind of cool to go back and then see some other people from other shows that I knew and just kind of hang out a little bit. It's crazy thinking about these things. It's crazy looking back at it. Like, I've had some really dope experiences, despite, you know, me struggling with a lot of things internally, despite me being spiritually lost and broken and empty inside, and again, on top of the world, enjoying my career, making great money, and such a blessing that we were the only people at that time in the industry who were the trailblazers to say, we're going to go back to filming in the midst of a pandemic. And so I'm really, really grateful for that experience, and nothing can take that away from me. And so I'm leaving the bubble, and it's time to go home. And my boyfriend decides to come to Atlanta, and then we go on a road trip all the way up to New York, where I would stay for a while. And it was so fun because he was vegan as well at the time. And so we, I think, went through Virginia and DC, stopped there, had some dope food at restaurants, like vegan restaurants we found along the way. Then we kept going, stopped at Philly to see one of his friends and hung out with her for a while. That was really cool. I got to run up the Rocky Steps. That was dope. She was such a sweetheart, hanging out with her. And then we kept going till we got all the way up to New York, where I was staying with him, and we were going to be together for, I think, maybe a few weeks, because again, I'm still filming Black Lightning. I'm recurring on Black Lightning, so I'm waiting to hear back from them when I would come back. But in the meantime, I'm kicking it in New York with my boyfriend. We're cranking out auditions left and right because he's an actor as well. And just doing our thing. You know, New York was weird, pandemic wise. Man, going to New York and during the pandemic. Because if you guys remember, New York did not play because they had so many deaths. I think they were the highest as far as the death rate in the States. Because you had places like, I don't know if you guys remember, it was like Italy was hit really bad, and other places across the world, like, but I remember vividly here in the States, New York got it bad. And so by the time I got up there, things had calmed down a lot, but they were very, very strict. But it was cool because I've been to New York many times, but this time the streets are like ghost town. But it was cool to see they adopted like this European standard of dining. All of the restaurants started to have outside seating. Even like little mini igloos and bubbles where you can sit inside and eat your meal. Like when I think back at like how inventive people were to stay in business when it came to the pandemic, to keep things going. I remember us working out at the gym together. I'm running on the treadmill with my mask on, about to pass out, Jesus. Like the things we had to do back then is so interesting. And so the guy I was dating, my boyfriend, he actually grew up in the church. He was actually Christian. And at this time in this stage in our relationship, we're nearing almost a year. And we've gotten to know each other pretty well, right? And we were just kind of wilding out, doing any and everything. But there was this undercurrent of, we're both Christian, you know, we both believe in God. I was doing it the more spiritual way. And he would really speak about his faith, but I can tell he had like a background, a foundation of it. Because everything about him kind of oozed like church boy. Like he had the gospel, you know, ringtones and all of these things and a lot of like Christian friends. And I really loved that about him. I thought that was great. I didn't really understand it. Again, I grew up Christian, but I didn't understand the Holy Spirit, where Jesus fit in. I just knew there's God. And yeah, it was like, I really kind of had like a big man upstairs kind of relationship with God. And at that time he did too, because we were just doing any and everything, like I said. But I remember the deeper I got into the spirituality of everything with the psychic and all this stuff, I started to share it with him. And I started to put him on and you know, do you want to, you know, we reach out to one of your loved ones? And I remember I tried to do that and he was like really skeptical. And I could tell he was kind of wrestling with it, like, but he's kind of trying to be graceful enough to entertain it for me. Like, okay, let me see. What is this? Okay, teach me about that. Oh, okay. When I look back at it, it was actually quite graceful and also strategic, because then he started to kind of reel things in. I could tell, probably looking back, his spirit probably start to get a bit agitated. Because being around him, sometimes my spirit would get agitated. Anytime I heard all the gospel music, anytime he would, you know, do all this like churchy Christian stuff, which wasn't often, but anytime he did, I literally would feel agitation in my spirit. Like, because again, I still have my routine. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I'm filming. I don't care if I'm in the middle of a pandemic. I don't care if I'm, you know, chilling in my boyfriend's closet of an apartment in New York. Y'all know about New York apartments. They're tiny. I'm going to meditate. I get up at 5 a.m. I do my meditation for an hour so that I can ground myself. I can center. I can balance. I can pull my energies and talk to my spirit guides and journal, all these things. I did that every single morning. And so there was one morning that he woke up before me. I think we were going or traveling somewhere. I forget. And he had like this gospel music blaring. It really wasn't that loud and it wasn't that deep. But in my mind, it was just blaring. And I woke up, I remember so agitated. And I was just like, babe, can you please just turn that off? Like, I like to start my mornings in silence. I like to start my mornings with peace and calm. I don't feel like hearing all that music. Or something like that, I said. I was just so irritated. He was just like, okay, all right. Poor guy. that's when I could look back and I'm like, ooh, that girl was manifesting. Something was manifesting. When I look back at it, I'm like, girl, your demons were agitated. Your spirit guides were agitated. Girl, whew, child. Leading up to this kind of like happened back to back. And then one night, he asked me, he was just like, you want to watch The Passion of the Christ? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. Yeah, sure. I never personally watched it. I just never got around to watching it. And then after a while, when the hype of it all kind of fizzled out, it just wasn't a priority for me anymore. I was just like, oh, that story about Jesus. Oh, how sad. Okay, cool. And so we're watching this movie, The Passion of the Christ. One, not the second one, the first. Something is happening inside of me. I'm getting agitated. I'm like blaspheming God in my mind. I'm just like, oh my God, this is so fake. And I have to let you know what happens next that changes the game for me. But we're going to talk about that in episode 4. I know. But you got to wait until episode 4. We're going to get deeper into how I started to meet Jesus. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. But until then, thank you for hanging out with me. If you haven't yet, please comment down below what you think about this content or any questions that you may have. Like this video and subscribe to my channel so that you can be updated on when the next episode comes out. Until then, peace.